Hi, I'm Glenn Hanson, owner of Vector Health. We're just going to go through a couple of things that, as a parent, you need to maybe remind your teenager or young child when they start their gym journey. So the best way for a young child to hurt themselves in a gym isn't by generally lifting something as heavy as they can, like a lot of people perceive. It's more the simple things, like this rack here. So dumbbell rack, so picking up, a dumbbell, putting it back, so jamming their fingers. So dropping a weight on their fingers or jamming the fingers between a plate, or these things here, so like a cable machine. So when you're adjusting a cable machine, you always want to talk to your child about, the crush injury factor. So just like workplace health and safety in a workplace, same thing in the gym. So when they've got the pin, no one should be using this thing, because if they go to put it in and they jam their finger in here, then, where you just use plain language, it really hurts. So making sure that you're adjusting it, and we always teach, just hang on to the cable so you've got it, so no one else can use it. Adjust it, and then use it. Don't let anyone else play with it at the same time that you're using it. All right. So then the next way that we teach our young athletes, in terms of picking up weights. So in general, when they're younger, we use soft weights. We use things like medicine balls and those sort of things. But when we progress to this sort of thing, so we've got this softer rubber plates. So, when we're putting them back, make sure that flat hands on there. So you always talk to them about, if you're taking them to the gym, about using, open hands to pull and push. So putting your fingers there and jamming your fingers together. So these are rubber plates. I'm just showing them, they're very soft. So very unlikely to create significant crush or injury. These ones here are a plastic covered one. So again, a little bit. So then if we walk over to these steel plates over here, so you might find these in some of your gyms. So these are what we call a calibrated plate. So when you start using these things, if you jam your finger in between these, then again, like the terminology is, it will really hurt and possibly break a finger, cut a finger. Which then we talk about, you can't train them if you damage your hand. So when you're picking a plate up, it's making sure that you said no one's around you, you've got your hand in here, you've blocked that, pick them up, hold them close to your chest. When you're walking with them, what we don't want to see is this like casual carry style, it's holding them with both hands close to your body. Same thing when we're putting it on a plate, and we're putting a plate on a bar, it's top down, slide them on like that, and don't throw them on, don't try and be a hero, throw them on. Same with the pulling them off, so it's slide them off nice and smoothly. You don't try and yank them off, because if the bar moves, jumps off a rack, then you just end up hurting yourself. So it's smooth, pull them off, tight, hold to the chest. When you're putting them back in the rack, this is probably where you get most of your pinch injuries. So the plates should all lean a certain way. So if you've got a plate rack, like it's called a toaster rack, like as a technical term, but if we're doing that, then it's putting them down, pulling your hands out, and not leaning them all the same way. It's a lot easier rather than if they're leaning opposite ways. All right.